Hi friends, how we all doing? Welcome back to YouTube. Welcome back to the Beardiverse channel, and welcome back to Beard's Cards. This is episode 2. I hope you all enjoyed episode 1. I had quite a lot of fun making it and stuff, so that's cool. Yeah, so we're going to continue where we left off, day 2. So nothing too exciting at the moment. We're just getting back into the swing of this sort of YouTube thing, and I'm trying to show you the sort of basics. So it's a little bit grindy, this game, particularly at this early stage, but there is quite a lot to do. So as we start the next day, what I try to do, I like to get in the habit of confirming the event, which I may have mentioned some of these things before, so I apologize if I go over it, but it's also good for people to sort of get in the habit, like I said. And now I also like to try and get in the habit of checking the card prices for each day. So as we can see, the regular packs are down a couple of pennies. I don't know if we unlocked these yet. I don't think we have. We definitely haven't unlocked this, so we don't really have to worry too much about that sort of stuff for the moment. I'm pretty sure we got card sleeves and was it dice, but card sleeves are on the up. So obviously if the prices are on the up, we can charge a little bit more, and that's where we can really start making our extra pennies. Right, so we've done those two things. Let's go into the shop. I don't remember what we had. So we've got a pretty much full stock shelf, so I don't think we really need to do a restock. We have got some stinky spray, which I'm going to open, so for easy access, put it back in the corner. So it is quite early days at the moment, so we haven't really got a whole lot to do. What I will do is order. I didn't buy the license for these, so we're going to get the license. So every time again, I probably mentioned this, but every time you want to sell something, you have to buy a license. So for instance, we've just paid £50 for the license for that. That's a cheap license. As the products get increasingly more sort of, I guess, valuable, I guess you could say, like dice here, they're 50 quid a pop, which is not too terrible. But like these ones here, these are fire sleeves. There we go, reading words. And then obviously deck boxes and stuff increase as you go along. So like these ones are 800, these ones are 100, but it all depends on sort of the pricing as well. So like we paid 50 quid, which is not bad for a license, but here to pay for 40 items of the sleeves is £21, which is really quite good value. But they're a cheap item, so they're really about £2-3, but everyone seems to buy them. So it's a good strategy to then figure out, okay, what do you want to have in your shop? What do you want to sell? How do you want your shop to go? Do you want everything? In which case you've got to then be careful on the budget, because I found unless you're doing silly money, which you can do, you have to budget. Well, you don't have to budget if you play the game how you want to play it. Don't let me tell you how to play it. But I like to budget and go, right, okay, I'm going to get a dice, I'm going to get a deck box, I'm going to get some sleeves, get a playmat, whatever, and try and budget. So for my every day that I play, I go, right, I spend this much on stock, this much on bills, and maybe this much if I've got a little bit extra cash lying around. Get a couple of licenses. So we will get, for now, 2 of these, because that'll fill up our shelves nice and easily to get day 2 underway. Pressing buttons. I haven't played this in a few days, so my button, I'm kind of figuring out the buttons again. There we go. Oh, nearly went on the wrong door. So yeah, our shop is a little bit sparse at the moment, but that is okay. We are okay with that. The game has quite a good... It doesn't have difficulties yet. It is coming in the roadmap. Again, I think I mentioned that. But it does have quite a good pacing to it. So, like as you can see, very sort of, chill pace. We'll open up for the day. Oh, you know what we didn't do? We didn't price. So like here we go. You can see the market price. Again, I think I mentioned this. I'll say that word a lot. Plus 10%, usually pretty good. Wait, market price. Oh yeah, okay. I was reading the wrong one. Sorry, friends. I am dumb. We'll go 210 on that. So that way we're not over 10% market price. Okay, first sale of the day. Right, Bosch. And 16.50. I believe I also mentioned about rounding the numbers if you find that's easier to your style. I also find it is quite good to have numbers not rounded in a way because it feels a little bit more real. But obviously, if maths is not your strong suit, which is the same for me, then, you know, round them off, make it easier. I've also changed my buttons, so when I check out, instead of having to click on the products to press the buttons, which, well, I do, take the money, put in the number, and then press spacebar, I've moved it to another mouse button. Obviously, I've got I've got two buttons on the side of my mouse, so I can just click that. So I can do this all one-handed, which sounds impressive, but it's really not. Yeah, so as you can see, fairly quiet to start out, which is not a big deal. Not a big deal to start off with. Again, it's nicely paced. Get a couple of sales. Bosch and 490 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. There you go, sir. You do tend to get... I'm not entirely sure how it works, but you do tend to get... I think this is where the difficulties might come into play later on. But early on, your customers are quite generous, because I think the game wants you to earn some money so you can level up and you can earn more to get more and grow your shop, which is actually really quite nice. It's like I said, it's not too difficult at the moment, but obviously if people want a bit more of a challenge, then, you know, you might have to be waiting till the difficulty levels come in. But the developers are on it when it comes to updates, because you won't be able to see this because I've moved my camera. Oh yeah, I was going to say I've moved my camera around a little bit, so you should be able to see some more details. So you should see the time easier. You should see the how much we're earning and how much the cards will be. So the only thing you can't see is probably this roadmap on the right hand side, which again is covered by my face. But so the roadmap has sell old shelf, which was fairly quickly, but they have, I can't remember if I mentioned this or not, they've already brought in customer review app, which is a really cool feature. So it shows you how quickly they are sort of staying on top of things, that and how they are doing regular updates. I believe they do one mostly every week. I think they said they were going to do them quite regularly, like monthly. So the developers are really on top of the game, which is really nice. So we can go to, let's go off the counter. You can wait a moment. Here's your app reviews, which is really, really fun. It does it by day. So this is started off from the day. So really cheap, come again, card sleeves. Clear is really cheap, thank you. And this is probably at the moment the best indicator you can get from how well or bad you're doing, because you can see what customers are feeling and thinking. I've done quite well so far. I've not really had any bad reviews. Again, I think that's where a difficult level might help. I think it would be very difficult for you to get a negative review or do particularly badly unless you're really bad and you spend all your money and there's no stock, or it's really poorly laid out, or don't go after stinky people. So yeah, there's that. I don't remember where we are now. Oh yeah, so we're just doing the early game tasks, which at the moment is to get 10 people to play, which is not a particularly difficult thing. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. And this is where budgeting comes into play. It's like, do you want to go sort of all out and go, right, I want play tables. That is the way to go. Play tables get you money in fairly well, and you can set your events and try and get some extra money there. Again, the game is fairly generous when it comes to people making sales and stuff, so we don't have to be too worried about that. It just becomes a how much you want to budget for, really, in that sort of instance. Another thing that was very well pointed out on one of my shorts of this game, there can be quite a lot of till time, and as I mentioned, it's like if you want to work at a till, you can do that in real life, which is, you know, completely fair. But this game early on, it's a little bit slow. It can be anyway, until you've done the sort of the I'd say the tutorial. It's not really tutorial, but it's like gives you some tasks. I'm hoping they'll bring in more tasks because they are quite fun to do. But once you've done, I think it's as soon as you've done the buy a card shelf, which I believe is after this task of getting 10 people to play in the shop, it doesn't have anything, so you don't really have an objective, which, again, depending on how you're playing and what your perspective is, if you're wanting something a bit more casual, it is nice and easy, a bit repetitive, but I like repetitive. But having said all that, there is quite a lot to unlock. So let's have a look at getting our stock. So like this is level 4. These are the licenses. So we have the 32 quantity, the 64 pack, 4-box license and 8-box license. But we got rare packs, epic packs, legendary card packs. I've only, on my main playthrough, which I use for streams, we've only just made it to level 20. So it can be a bit of a grind as well. That's where opening packs, making sure that you schedule your events, making sure your prices are optimal, budgeting, etc., really comes into play, and that's where the game can be a challenge. But you can then also, on the flip side, just, you know, plod along, make some sales. That's why we're not probably making any sales, because we've now run out of stock. So let's do a quick restock during the day. Accessories. Again, this goes back to the sort of the game being quite generous early on. I don't know why I brought another one of those, because I've already got a box, but it's fine. We can never have too many sleeves. Yeah, so this is where it starts becoming a little bit more, right, you got to keep on your toes. And when you have stuff like this to do, so if you've got to keep an eye on restock, eventually you'll be keeping an eye on single cards and keeping them stocked up, as well as working the checkout. It will become a little bit more challenging, but also a little bit more varied in the content, particularly if you then start throwing in pack openings, which I try and do. I haven't actually had time yet, but we do try to sneak them in, and I do like to try and end on some pack openings so we can top up ready for our card shelf. So we're doing well. We are a good chunk of the way through our day. Have we had any bad reviews? Not yet. Okay, so we got away with that restock. That's fine. That's probably why we weren't getting too many customers. Again, we are starting out fairly slow, so the first few episodes is more just sort of teaching you guys, showing you what's what, and then we can really start hammering home in the next, probably start of the next video. So yeah, it's always a good investment to get play tables. So we'll probably do that at the end of the day. I think we are getting to the point where, you know what, we are getting to the point where I think we need more play tables already. So we're gonna just for something to do, so that we're not waiting till the end of the day. We'll get another play table in, so that way we can get our objective done fairly quickly. So there we go, we've got another play table in. Because there seems to be sort of ebbs and flows. So there seems to be a sort of a little bit of a morning sort of rush, then it sort of quietens down for a little bit, then you might get the afternoon where it gets a bit busier, and then you really get a nice busy rush come about this time. So we're coming up to about 6 p.m, which is actually, I find, very sort of realistic for those who have maybe gone to like Geek Retreat or your local trading card store where you've played competitively, whether it's Pokemon or Magic. You tend to come home, have your food, and then go off to your local store, play an event in the evening, and then just, you know, crack on. So I do like that aspect of the game. I think that is really, really cool. Okay, righty-ho, sir. Yes, 5, 6, 7, 20, 40. And boop, there we go. Bit of a slow day, but then that's probably my fault for not having the stock in, but that is fine. So at the moment we're just keeping with our basic cards and our sleeves. We've only got one shelf. 8, 40. So after we've done the second day, so usually after the second day you usually can get through the tasks. We've still got nearly 2 hours till closing time. These two people should get us our task for the day. I may end up doing a few days offline, so we've got a little bit more money, and that maybe we can get things really cracking in the next few episodes, and then we can just sort of enjoy the gameplay as it is and not get bogged down with the sort of early mechanics and stuff. Because I think at the end of the day, what we've got to now is, you know, this is it. It seems slow at the moment. It's because we haven't got a lot of money, but that will happen fairly easy if you obviously budget. You can go fully ham and just, oh, we got a Stinkular. We'll finish that sentence momentarily. First, yeah, this is where, like, okay, you know, you've got working on the till, products, keeping on the games, stinky alerts, eventually single cards, etc, etc. It can start becoming a bit more busy. I lost my train of thought. That's where we were. I think I was talking about that we will get a bit more stuff to do, and as long as you budget okay, you should be golden. So it's coming up to the end of the day already, which is absolutely fine. There's our 10. So we've completed our tasks. Oh, I was saying how early game stuff, there's not much to it. So once we get past this, then we can sort of crack on. 10, 1, 2, 3, 20, 40. There you go, sir. Are you coming in? Do you want to play? Or is it like, oh, you're going to come in late, are you? It's really annoying because people pay by the hour, but the day ends at 9. So she's come and sit down at 9. So that doesn't really help. And then, like, usually at 9 o'clock, the game sort of stops people from coming in, although it's not always the case. I like to close anyway. Boop. £14. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 20. Okay, so we've had a relatively quiet day in terms of profit and revenue, but we've got plenty of sleeves, we've still got plenty of packs, so that's not too much of a problem whatsoever. We can probably, that would easily get us through tomorrow. You know, maybe we'll make the shelves look a little bit more stocked. We'll put some of those up there so that way they're out of the way. Yeah, and so our next task, which I believe is the final one, is to get a play table, which we not play table, a card table. Words. So we go to our DRI section, card table, £400, which is kind of expensive at this stage, but we'll do it for the sake of the video. It should be okay, and we can start getting out some of our single cards, so that's fine. We are going to put that, let's put that sort of over here. So we've got this, we've got the play area, shelves, cards. Again, fairly self-explanatory. So you get your album, which is full of all your cards. I don't think we've got any. We haven't actually done a lot of openings, but I will do some off stream as well so that we can fill up our cards. But I feel that early on, this can be actually really quite good. And it's one of those ones I thought to myself, oh, that might be a bit, oh, okay, 40p, we'll do market price on that. I generally don't put cards out unless I do it for £1, like minimum. Otherwise I don't feel it's worth your time. Although I could be wrong. Later on you can do bulk, but you have to buy a workbench, which sounds odd, but you go to your workbench, you can bulk up all it. So like these are all the cards we have so far. Again, we haven't had too many, but there's 110 pages you can fill up. So it's good later on when you're opening loads and loads of packs to get your money in. That's definitely worth doing. It can become quite frantic though, because as your shop grows and you have more to do, I got to the point where it was getting a bit grindy and I couldn't keep up with the demand for the single cards, the product, and I had to hire someone. But we'll come to that another video, hiring someone, because it both has its pluses and minuses. But I very much like getting the single cards out, making sure we can make use of these extra pennies, because the pennies do add up. So it's definitely worth having. I'll put 10 cards on the shelf. Okay, do we have something else we can put out? Yes, we do. Okay, cool. And again, I generally round the prices up. When they're lower prices, it doesn't really matter too much. People tend to buy them. Like I said, if this is a 70p card, they're not going to make much of a fuss and they will buy it for £1. When it starts getting into the sort of, you know, a little bit more than that, and the rounding becomes a little bit more. So in this case, 366, round it up to 4, because obviously that's how rounding works, maths. But it might seem quite a big difference. It doesn't become too much at this sort of stage. Obviously later when you're getting hundreds and even thousands of pounds in terms of cards, it becomes a bit more of an issue. But then that also becomes prevalent with your packs. Like here, we're doing okay for profit. We might even, let's check the oh no, we won't check the market prices because it will change the next day. So there's not a lot of point in doing that. What we will do is we will grab what we got. Let's grab these 3 packs. So it's nice and even. We've got a nice even spread across, because I don't like having odd numbers of packs, because I'm weird like that. It's also becomes, I'm wondering whether hopefully you can see the prices at the bottom below my face, which makes life a bit more easier. I'm wondering whether how much going into the single card market works. I think you can get full displays on the walls where you can have all the single cards and stuff, and I know that I've seen people pull, you know, 20,000-30,000 pound cards. It's insane. So that's the level it goes up to. But obviously as you start out, it's sort of very sort of basic. Couple, you know, you might get a 30-40 pound, maybe even a couple of £100 card early on. It depends on the packs. Obviously these are just your basic packs, so you're not going to get anything too spicy. But it's also a case of, even when you unlock these other packs, you're not necessarily guaranteed to always have anything amazing. I've not got past the legendary packs. I've found rare packs have actually done quite well. Epic packs haven't been too bad. So yeah, once we get into the Destiny packs, I'm sure that's where the silly card money is at. My highest card pull so far is just shy of £1,900 to £1,900, which I ended up selling for about £1,800, which wasn't too bad. So yeah, I think I also mentioned that the packs luck can depend on the event. So obviously here you get a random effect for each day, and it depends on which format that you play. I found when you get a little bit further into the game, so like a couple of days in, I feel it's quite good to go to this event. It costs $50 a day, well £50 a day, but I found the pack luck has been pretty good. So again, try it out, see what you think. I'm going to try things out, see what it thinks. I found trying to put the prices up early on doesn't really help, particularly on this standard event, but that is okay. So yeah, that is day 2. That is a little bit more into the game. Day 3 we might get a couple of days, because the next task, I believe, after this sell 10 cards is make 100 sales. So we'll probably do the 10 card one pretty easy-ish, and then we can crack on with 100 sales, and then that's when things start picking up a little bit more. There's then more to do, because I mean already we've started to get a bit more. We've got play tables out, we've got our shelves, we've got our card table, we've got a counter. We can then start thinking about moving things around if we add more play tables and stuff, because that is something I want to get in, because that can be quite profitable from game time. Like, let's have a look at that. No, you know what, first you got to get out. You can't sit here all night. For anyone at retail will know the turn the lights off trick, and it is hilarious. We will end the day. So we'll go back to our breakdown. We didn't make anything on card earnings, and we had a very poor day, but this is where the game earnings can come in, and I found this can be quite a nice little earner, especially when you add in the events that are more popular. Like, so even if you spend money, you generally make more money, which is good. We had a supply cost, we had an upgrade cost, so very little profit, but we're still in the plus. Probably not doing as well as I have on other games, but I want to show you as much as I can, particularly earlier on. As later episodes go on, I might be able to skip a few days, make a bit of money in between, so then we can actually get more stuff in, have a bit more variety of product, and then crack on with just building the shop, getting bigger and better products, but also making it bigger, changing the layout, hiring staff, and just generally having fun and playing the game. So that brings us to day 3. And on that note is probably a good time to end. So again, thank you all for watching. If you've watched the last episode, I appreciate it. If you're watching or have watched this episode, again, very much appreciated. We're just getting off the ground on YouTube. It's something very different. So obviously, if it's not your thing, that's fine. I do shorts, I do TikTok. You can find me on Twitch, where I stream 5 days a week. You can find me on Instagram, where you can see a lot of my Pokemon stuff, or Twitter, where I just keep people up to date and spout nonsense. Yeah, so otherwise, friends, have a good rest of your day. I hope to see you back here in the Beardiverse. We are all friends here, and we love to have new people. If you're new, drop a like, drop a follow, drop a comment, and just say hi. Even if you're just passing by, we'd appreciate a follow just to get things going. Like I said, we're very early stages, not very many subscribers. I hate doing all this advertisement thing, but you got to be professional now if you want to make it as well. So we're trying, friends. But yeah, thank you very much, all. Have a good rest of your day. I'll see you all next time. Peace and love. See you later, friends. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.